Brazil just asked me for a handout. He's in first place. He's asking me to give him money. Sometimes. Okay, a few things have happened. First was, a great prophet was finally born for my civilization, which is crazy because it is the year 1200 AD. There are 3 other fully fledged religions out there. 13 cities in the Brazilian Empire, 11 cities in Protestantism, and Islam. In 7 cities. I haven't met these civilizations yet. I don't know who they are. But the thing is, I really don't want to start my own religion. I'd like to just keep getting faith in building these buildings, the mosques and the cathedrals. I really don't want to disrupt the peace on this continent. It's a very strong peace, but it's a very fragile peace too, and Japan is very worrisome. My military advisor is telling me that they are just overwhelming, so I've been building units, but it's just not enough. So anything I can do to stay in Japan's good graces would be great. I don't know if it's a good idea to make a religion to fight Brazil. Brazil is in first place as far as I know, and that religion is really going to help them. But to fight him when he's got piety, a full-fledged piety, religion spreading everywhere, and to just feebly try and tame it with my religion, I don't think it's a good use of resources, so I'm probably just going to build a holy site with this great prophet. Meanwhile, my scouts crossed the ocean for the first time and met Mongolia, being ransacked by barbarians, so they're probably not that happy. They're near Honolulu, and it looks like Honolulu might be taken over by Mongolia, but they're not at war. So someone else is at war with Polynesia. And it might be Carthage, because I just got a notification from Kathmandu that they're at war with Carthage and they want support in their war efforts. So this game is full of warmongers, but this continent right here is very peaceful, and I don't want to do anything to disrupt that. So I am just going to set him down somewhere, probably in Sparta. Probably here. Everyone can pilgrimage to Sparta. All roads lead to Sparta. Would you like to join our club, Genghis Khan? Well, it appears my suspicions were correct, as Polynesia just lost their capital to Carthage. Carthage now controls 2 capitals. So, that continent, certainly not as peaceful as our continent. I am happy to be living where I am, here on what I will call this the West Continent, because they are to the east of us. Mongolia and Carthage, and what little remains of Polynesia. Dido the Pious of Carthage. Interesting. Oh, she is in first place. What do you have?
Alak.
You've got some whales. Let's trade embassies.
Bal.
Goodbye for now. Ah. Wow, she's got 7 wonders, and she is the founder of Islam. Interesting. Honor and piety. Okay. The Great Lighthouse, the Colossus, the Hanging Gardens. Yep. She got all the wonders that Polynesia had, and a few more too. Alright. There's Honolulu. What remains of Honolulu? There's the Colossus. In Dido's hands now. And here's Dido. Carthage, right here. Got Wales, Colosseum. Yep. Okay. And now I've found Hiawatha of the Iroquois. Well, he is in the game after all. Not the founder of Protestantism, is he? Oh, yeah, he is. He is the founder of Protestantism, as I suspected. Piety and liberty. Yep, that sounds like Hiawatha. Yeah, you got Petra. Alright. Great Library, Chichen Itza, Notre Dame. Alright. Good to meet you. You are nowhere near me, so you and I can be the best of friends. Declaration of friendship has expired. With Polynesia? Well, let's just renew that then, shall we? Even though he's in last place. Actually, yes. He is in last place. It might be better to side with Dido, who is at war with Polynesia. Polynesia only has 1 city left. He might be wiped off the map. Let's just ignore him for now. That friendship that we had for thousands of years, yeah, it's about to end, because he's about to end.
E mai, e paira pu ka po e o ka.
We prefer to go alone, actually. Yes, perhaps another time. If you live to another 200 years from now. Odu Nobunaga is constructing the Forbidden Palace. That Fink. I want the Forbidden Palace. More than that, I want to be the first person to printing press and get the extra diplomat from everyone in the world. Let's see what we got. Steal some technology from Japan. We get physics, steel, or banking. Let's go with banking. And then maybe we can sneak in and have Sparta start building that Forbidden Palace before he does. That sounds fine to me. Although, I would like to start influencing you culturally if that's possible. So we'll just hold off on that for now. Another great prophet. This game is really encouraging me to fight Brazil's religion, but I just don't want to. It's too much of a hassle. I'm going to set that down somewhere else and yeah, buy my buildings faster because I'm tired of getting these. Genghis Khan, I would love to be your friend. Yes, let us work together. And there's my holy shrine to Catholicism. Bismarck! Bismarck has completed the Forbidden Palace. He beat Japan and myself. I can no longer work on the Forbidden Palace. Yes, Germany is surprising me. Germany also just created Buddhism. So, +2 happiness from temples in his 3 cities. And he gets science for spreading his crappy religion. +1 culture from plantations. Nah. It's, yeah, you're free to go toe-to-toe with Brazil if you want. By the way, Brazil built the Himeji Castle, which is not too surprising. Even though we are at peace, they do have a very fragile position on this continent, stuck between Germany, bordering Germany, Japan, and myself. So yes, it's probably smart for them to build Himeji Castle. Compounded with the defensive terrain they have around almost all of their cities, it's safe to say Brazil is not going to be defeated very easily by anybody. So it's going to be me and Japan, probably, and then Germany against Brazil. That's what I foresee if we do go to war. I'm going to try and hold that off as long as possible, though. The Iroquois have denounced Carthage. Oh, the drama on the East Continent. So sad. Ladies and gentlemen, Blaise Pascal has been born in Athens. And I actually have a use for him this time, because I don't think anyone has built the Leaning Tower of Pisa, or the Globe Theater, so I have my choice of those 2 wonders, if I can get to them in the next 3 turns. Polynesia has been wiped out. I should have seen that coming. I didn't expect it, though. Not so soon. They are completely gone. But as you can see, the rest of us are completely at peace, except for Carthage and Hiawatha. That continent is so full of drama that they can have it. Still waiting for the printing press. I am right there. I wonder what my military advisor has to say. Do not trifle with the Carthaginian Empire. Very well. Japan, also strong, but not immense at this point, so that's good. Brazil has been continuously weak, but I guess they really don't need so much of an army when they have defensive terrain and defensive buildings. They're spending all of their money on buildings and wonders, and I can't blame them. It's a good strategy. Mongolia is surprisingly pathetic. Iroquois is stronger than us. German Empire is about the same. Okay. Good to know. It's not that bad. I thought it was worse, but it's not that bad. Now, do I want the Globe Theater or the Leaning Tower of Pisa? I think it's pretty obvious. The Globe Theater is good for cultural victories, but we're not going for those. We're going for diplomatic victories, for which the Leaning Tower of Pisa will be. The Leaning Tower of Pisa, not pizza. The Leaning Tower of Pisa will be far more useful for me. And I have discovered every civilization in the world. That is beautiful. I may not have gotten the Forbidden Palace, but that is an extra delegate in the World Congress in my pocket. And I have completed the Leaning Tower of Pizza. Yeah, I'm just going to call it the Leaning Tower of Pizza. I completed the Leaning Tower of Pizza. Congratulations, me. And I got a barbarian encampment here to take out. No big deal. But I get a free great person for completing that. Well, I suppose I could get the Globe Theater as well if I wanted to. I guess I'm going to go with a free scientist. I think that's probably for the best. Yes. Scientist. Make a proposal. Ah, there it is. And there's where Polynesia would be if they hadn't been wiped out by Carthage. Honor and piety. I wonder what victory condition they're trying to get. Maybe domination, but liberty and piety. Brazil, aesthetics. Germany, aesthetics. They can struggle for cultural victory if they want. It's Japan that I need to worry about. Japan is the only enemy that I have. Everyone else I am completely fine with. They're going for different victory conditions than I am. But Japan, I think I'm going to need to ban happiness from copper. I think that would affect them and nobody else. Ah, there's copper here in Brazil, so, and in Germany, so banning copper will not work. I think this is a good idea, and many civilizations would be grateful. No one would be angry about that. Otherwise, I might have gone for sciences funding, but everyone would be angry if I did that. You know how it goes. So, World's Fair. Okay, so Carthage and Mongolia are at war, and it's going to be a bloodbath because Carthage is a big powerhouse, and Mongolia is the worst civilization in the game right now. Karakoram might be legitimately their only city at this point. Nope, they have 3 cities. Turfan. Yeah, so that's probably going to fall pretty soon. And it might bump Dido up into lead over Hiawatha. Meanwhile, everyone else is fine and dandy. We're all friends. I don't know why they can't get along like us. Japan, however, I just found out, is building the Globe Theater, which isn't cool because I had nothing to build in Athens, and they're building the Globe Theater. So now it's a race. Now one of us is going to be unhappy because the other one is going to finish. Meanwhile, I found a continent over here. It's a very small continent with only Riga on it, and Lake Victoria. Some silk over here, so it's not bad. Some dyes here. It might be worth settling later. It's near Kathmandu and Zurich. Meanwhile, Buddhism hasn't spread far at all. It's just kind of stuck in Berlin. Catholicism, however, yeah, it's dominated this entire continent. Much like Islam has dominated the southern part of that continent. Really, most of that continent. Only Hiawatha has Protestantism. Everyone else is pretty much Islam. But it's time to steal some technology from Japan. Steel. That is underwhelming, but we are roughly, at this point, the same technologically. I need to be stealing from Brazil, which is what I'm going to start doing right now. Because they jumped ahead in tech pretty quickly. As you might expect is with someone who has a lot of jungle tiles. As soon as they hit university, they get a lot of science. And like clockwork, Dido takes Mongolia's capital, meaning now she has 3 capitals, Polynesia and Mongolia. I think only Turfan is left for Mongolia, maybe one more city hidden in this fog of war that I can't see, but Mongolia made peace, so their destruction is postponed for now, I suppose. Interestingly enough, we have a new religion, the 5th religion, the final religion, and it's Japan. They founded Shinto in Kyoto. It is 1500 AD. What are they doing? +1 food from camps, +1 production for each follower, and +1 global happiness for every city following this religion. Not going to be a whole lot of cities, actually. You only have 3 cities, and all these other cities are dominated by Catholicism. So, yeah, alright. We finally have the 5th religion. I've given it to you, Japan. Have fun. Carthage is not happy with Germany nor I. We are all friends, though. Why would you be unhappy with us, Dito? Dito has decided to become the enemy of the world. She has denounced everybody, and I'm sure she's going to denounce me if she hasn't yet. Which means it might be time to start considering a naval invasion, or maybe just a land invasion of Carthage. I think they are stronger than us militarily, though. Let me ask my advisor. They are slightly stronger than us militarily, so it's an option. It would actually appear that Dita was denounced by everybody. Everyone denounced her. Japan, Mongolia, Brazil, Germany, and the Iroquois. Well, let's get in on that action, shall we? And Japan has beaten me. They got the Globe Theater. Well, congratulations, Japan. It's not that big of a boon for me, so you can go ahead. Carthage Sol Astronomy. There's not much I can do about it. I do not have a navy. I have one ship. So, yeah. On the plus side, if we do get into a naval engagement, she can really only take one city. I just used my free technology from the National University to get industrialization. Because I have unlocked commerce, I'm trying to get Big Ben. I don't think anyone else is going to go for it. I don't think anyone else has actually tried to go for commerce yet. But hopefully I get Big Ben. I want Big Ben. Meanwhile, I just stole a technology from Brazil. I'm going to get navigation, the only one I can get. Very nice. Oh, he found out. I swear not to spy on you anymore. Alright, I've decided. We are going to ban whales. Take Dito down a peg, I think. I think that's something we can all get behind. Let's rally together and destroy her. Hiawatha and I are still friends. Everyone is friends, except for you, Dito. No one likes you, Dito. Take the hint. The people with the pointiest sticks. No surprise there, it's Dito. Genghis Khan, the smallest civilization, has the smallest army. Again, not surprising. Pedro's down there at the bottom, and then there's me. I don't have a whole lot. I am dwarfed in military power by Japan, who has a military about twice my size. That's okay. I'm not looking to conquer anyone. I'm just looking to hold my own in case things go south. Meanwhile, I did complete Big Ben, so that's a success. Very quickly, I just wanted to note that Protestantism came here, so I got a pagoda up in Athens, but then it was overwhelmed by Catholicism. Look at all these missionaries coming down. 4 missionaries and a great prophet, I see. Meanwhile, I've got Japan here, Brazil here, Germany here, with their one city of Buddhism. And here's my small little continent. I finally settled it. There's Knossos, on the Dies, near Lake Victoria. Not a bad spot, near Riga. I might settle a second time. There's plenty of space here, so might as well. But let's take a look. I didn't really get a good look at the other continent, but now it's mostly explored. We've got Turfan, yep, the last remaining Mongolian city. Karakoram and Tonga and Honolulu and Samoa, all these Polynesian and Mongolian cities taken by Dito. It's not too hard to see why she's despised. There's Utik and Carthage and Hippo Regius. And Hiawatha put a city right smack dab in the middle of everything. So that's probably not going to stand for very long, considering how they're enemies. And Hiawatha has this small little continent to himself. It's technically connected to Dito's continent, but it's a very small land strip. So there's probably not going to be a lot of land invasion. Although, yeah, the Iroquois capital isn't even on the lake, so he might lose a couple of cities if Dito decides to do a naval invasion, but nothing too crazy. He's also settled here on this tiny little continent with a couple of city-states. Protestantism is spreading thoroughly throughout these 5 city-states, just smack dab right together. It's crazy. It's a good place to settle. I might settle here too. Take, is that Mount Kilimanjaro? I probably won't try and settle here. There's not a whole lot of room, but yeah, I'm going to have to try and get some of these city-states on my side. Meanwhile, I have to choose an ideology. I am the first one to choose an ideology. Whew. Well, I didn't get a whole lot of cities out, so maybe not order. I am still going for diplomatic victory. So, freedom? I'm thinking freedom. I don't want autocracy because I just generally do not want to have to go to war. You know, all this time I've not even considered going for a science victory, because I don't find it very fun. But no one else has adopted rationalism as far as I know. I am a technological leader. It might just be best to go with freedom, because I think space victory is uncontested at this point. So if I can't get my diplomatic victory, I have the space victory to fall back on. I think I'm going to go with freedom. Yes. And the World's Fair is completed. Nito and Oda get bronze, Genghis gets nothing. Bismarck, Pedro, and myself, yes, we all get the silver, and Hiawatha takes away with the gold. A little more, and I could have taken it for myself. Interesting. But I didn't feel like wasting the production time. We finally got sugar banned and whales banned, both of which are very damaging to Carthage. Time to make a proposal, and I think it's time that we embargo Carthage. There's really not a whole lot else I want to do, but sabotaging Carthage, that sounds good to me. And a great scientist. Ooh, let's see. Ooh, where can I stick him? Somewhere in Athens. Athens is very good at generating science right now. There is... I'll put it right next to the other one. Right up here. I have a lot of units that need to be upgraded. I have rifles and machine guns available, and I've got crossbows and swords. But, I'm putting my money towards other things. I've got a lot of city-states on my side right now. Most city-states, all city-states that are on this continent, are my allies. And Japan is unhappy with Carthage. Mongolia is unhappy with Carthage. There's a theme going here. Yes, Germany is unhappy with Carthage. Nobody likes Carthage. I'm glad we all agree on that, united in our hatred of Dido. Dido just declared war on Hiawatha. Carthage and the Iroquois are going to duke it out. It'll be interesting to see. Not really. She'll probably just take this Iroquois city right here, and that'll be the end of it. There's a very clear line of divide right here. This is Carthage's side of the continent. This is Hiawatha's. And, Mongolia's lone city right here. I'm sure Carthage would love to take that, but it is very well fortified with mountains. Mountain. You can't even get to there by land. You'd have to go into the sea and cross into the land. So Mongolia is probably going to be sticking with us for a while. Until Carthage builds up a naval fleet and decides to take it over the sea. If she ever decides to do that. Oda Nobunaga, you backstabbing piece of filth. We didn't do anything to you. You just stabbed us in the back for literally no reason. Wow. And here we go. Carthage declares war on me. And here comes Japan. I knew I couldn't trust you. Oh, he's got a navy. Pedro has become a nuisance. Kind of busy with this right now. I really don't have a navy of my own. I have a couple of ships out there exploring. But, looks like they're going to try and take Argos with a combined land and naval attack. I'll have to bring in my archers and machine guns to defend it. Oh. My economy is going to start hurting now too, because Japan was a trading partner. On the other continent, I didn't really pay much attention to this, but sure enough, Carthage destroyed Hiawatha. The city that Hiawatha had, it's gone. But Brazil planted Fortaleza right here too. I guess it was pressed for territory, so we decided to squeeze onto the east continent. Okay. That Iroquois settlement here was also taken by Carthage, near the 5 city-states. But it's time for me to prepare for war. I wish I had more money. I wish I weren't hurting economically. I'm going to have to fight these troops with these unupgraded troops, but he's still got archers and a couple frigates. The frigates are going to be the biggest problem. But let's get this going. A long and protracted battle with Japan. He keeps sending ships towards Argos. He didn't do a whole lot of damage. Then he sent a bunch of land troops from Tokyo to Athens. I set down a great general that I earned because I had to fight so often, and now I am just... It is a war of attrition. I am trying to hold my own now. I plundered a lot of his land. I stole a lot of his luxuries by plundering them, so hopefully his happiness is taking a tank. I am just waiting for this battle to be over, because it is taking a long time. There's not a whole lot I can do, because my troops... I mean, I've got pikemen and crossbowmen, for crying out loud. I've got a couple of machine guns, but I can't upgrade some of my lesser troops, and they keep getting, you know, one hit killed by a frigate sideswipes them, or something like that happens. Kyoto, that is well fortified. I am not going to take Kyoto. If I had enough troops, if I had the manpower, I might be able to take crummy little Tokyo down here, but for now, they are well defended, and I have to make a new proposal. Boy, I don't know. How about we embargo Japan? They seem like a bunch of jerks. And it's over. Oh, that took a long time. But I held my own. I did a lot of damage to Kyoto. I didn't actually attack the city, but I destroyed the countryside. And I was getting started on Osaka. I would have totally ripped that place to shreds. But Edo and Japan surrendered. They made peace, and I got Tokyo. I have Tundra Tokyo that I completely ripped to the ground. Well, now I just gotta focus on rebuilding. Japan stole military science. Well, that's okay. I stole a bunch of land with a great general that I got when I completed Brandenburg Gate. So I stole your destroyed wine cellars, and I'm going to rebuild them. Whew. Alright. Just got to recuperate now. Got my 5 cities now on the main continent. Athens right here, Tokyo, Corinth, and Sparta. And I've got my 2 little small, I guess you could say colonies. I'm colonizing this small planet, this very small island. Riga's on my side, Panama, Yerevan. Got plenty of city-states going with me. Now I just need to recover, rebuild, get everyone set up defensively, because Japan's probably not going to be my friend after this. We have the second ideology decision of the game. It is Brazil, and wouldn't you knew it, they decided not to go with freedom. They decided to go with order. So that's not going to make things simple. I really don't know why they wanted to go with order. Freedom would work for them so well. They've got only 4 cities, 5. Oh, now they got a 6th city, Belo Horizonte. Yep, they've got 6 cities, and they decided to go with order. I guess he's still going for a culture victory. The only one he's going to have a victory over is Mongolia, because even I have a cultural victory over Mongolia at this point. He's barely in the game. I would not even consider him noteworthy. It's mainly on this continent, Carthage, with Brazil creeping in, and over here is Hiawatha. So, yep, now that we have that ideology, the peaceful circle is going to break down even further. Japan and we are not going to get along until... Actually, Japan's only got 2 cities left, so they might be able to be contained. I certainly can't take Kyoto. They have... That city has almost 100 points of defensive strength. That is a city I am not going to be able to take. Osaka, I possibly could, but I don't want to. Yeah, who knows? He might go to war with Brazil at this point. Brazil might see him as weak and take Osaka. It's possible. This friendship circle that lasted a long time is dismantled. We are now at the point of the game where everyone has pretty much chosen their ideology. And it turns out that freedom is not loved by many. Not surprising. It's pretty much just me and Hiawatha, the 2 of us. And I've got dissenters that want Germanic order, also Carthaginian order, or Brazilian order. Any order is fine to them. They just can't stand being free, but that's okay, because I finally built the Statue of Liberty in Athens. While I was doing that, Pedro built the Eiffel Tower, it's pretty obvious that he's going for a cultural victory right now. We've got open borders. I'm thinking about closing them soon. He's not close to getting a culture victory on me, or he's like halfway to other people, but yeah, he'll eventually get there. But we just had an election, and turns out I'm still the host. 11 for me, 9 for the Iroquois. So he's getting up close. Iroquois is, it might be problematic, but he is the only one that's got freedom, alongside me. Japan, I think, has been contained. I don't think he's going to be too much of a problem anymore. He is at the very bottom of the scoreboard, only 600 points. So sad, but I am glad to be done with him. I've got my troops here. No more war, hopefully. I'll have to take care of that barbarian who is sneaking into my territory. But now it's just waiting it out, hoping that I can get my funds up enough that I can buy a couple of allies and become the leader of the world. The free world, preferably, but if I have to switch to order, then so be it. This barbarian encampment is gonna... Yep, they captured that. They captured that worker. It's not surprising. This whole section right here, all of this snowy tundra area, no one's ever gonna settle it, so... Unless I put some kind of sentry over here, these things are just gonna keep popping up. I'm not sure who, but one of the city-states has given me a Great Merchant of Venice, and I think I'm going to go over here and buy Almaty, this militaristic city-state. Because all these other guys, they're my friends, soon to be my allies. Militaristic city-state, don't really need land troops anymore. I think that'll become my town. Now, I'm not too fond of sharing a border with Carthage, but hopefully that won't be too much of a problem. Speaking of Carthage, Dido just declared war on Pedro, and the very next turn had taken both of his cities. So her military is no joke. She is a powerhouse that will burn everything to the ground. I suppose I really shouldn't concern myself with the politics of the Eastern continent when I've got so much more work to do. Japan's got a couple of riflemen out. No big deal. I'm not too worried about you anymore. He's been properly contained. He's not getting out. It's just Osaka and Kyoto and whatever little puny towns he decides to prop up somewhere on some one-tile island. There's a tile over here. Maybe you can settle that. Okay, I wasn't planning to go to war with Dido again, but I had Hiawatha ask me, and then I had Bismarck ask me, and now I've got Nobunaga asking me. I just don't think there's any way I can pass up the opportunity. Yes, let's go to war with Dido in 10 turns. I successfully purchased Almaty, and Jerusalem is my ally. Now I'm working on Florence and Malacca. I even got Vatican City under my thumb. So my influence is spreading pretty quickly. Might not take too long now for me to get a diplomatic victory. The entire world is now at war with Dido. Not too surprising there. No one likes Dido. No one has liked Dido ever since she conquered Polynesia. I didn't even notice, but she even wiped off Mongolia. That happened, I wasn't even paying attention when that happened. They just kind of faded into the night. Japan's still here, gaining strength, but still not much of a threat. Very contained. Still just 2 cities. Hey, they finally adopted an ideology. It wasn't freedom, though. It wasn't order, either. They picked autocracy. I don't know why. I can only imagine that their happiness is going to tank terribly. But, you know what? That's fine. The less powerful they are, the happier I am. Hiawatha proposed world freedom, freedom as the world ideology. Now that is something I can get behind. Between him and I, we have 20 votes, which is more than everyone else combined. I just need to get him to vote for freedom. Spend all his votes on freedom. That'd be great. Banning incense would hurt Dido. That'd be good too, but not as much as having freedom as the world ideology. That would be amazing. Let's go with that. Bismarck completed Kremlin. Bismarck actually has a lot of wonders now. 6. I'm sorry. He does not have any wonders, just 6. I am the most literate. I have the most technologies. Yeah. I'm just shooting ahead. Incense is banned. Take that, Dido. Freedom is now the world ideology. Yup. We threw all of our votes behind it, and it passed. Excellent. Ah, feeling good. Feeling really good. Now, what do I want to do here? I can go back to banning Wales, but that would hurt Hiawatha, and I don't want to hurt my new buddy. Let's go with international games. That make Germany and the Iroquois happy. My allies in the Vatican City burned down Guido's city that was right here. So now I've got this island territory all to myself. But even better is that over here, near my tiny continent that I colonized, the city-state of Zurich that is allied with me has just conquered Kathmandu. And, yeah. Puppeted it. That's what it looks like. So, that's kind of crazy. Yeah. Kathmandu was conquered by Zurich, and they didn't burn it to the ground, they puppeted it. So now my one city-state is two city-states. That's great. That's legitimately pretty good. I've played this game a lot. I've never had that happen to me before. Oh yeah, and Germany conquered Vilnius. So I'm losing a couple of city-states that I didn't get allied with quick enough. Looks like Dido is ready to declare peace. And you know what? I think I'm going to agree to that, because she's offering me Turfan. Turfan, the Mongolian capital, after it was the last city that she left before she decided to conquer it. Since I'm going for a diplomatic victory, I think I will liberate Turfan.
Bal.
Yes, sounds good. Bring Mongolia back to life. Yes, let's exchange embassies. Recalled to life. That's not something I see very often.
Deveremos prosperar através do comércio?
It is actually quite amazing that Germany and Brazil are both on good terms with me, despite being in pretty close proximity and having differing ideologies. The circle of friendship still stands. It's more of a triangle now, but we included Hiawatha, so it's good. We're all good. Actually, Japan's not too hostile either. I mean, he is to me, but he's still in the circle, kind of. It's really just Dido that nobody likes. I was not paying attention. I got a notification that Turfan was captured by Mombasa. Apparently a city-state that was allied with me was still at war with Mongolia, which isn't too surprising. Mongolia likes to declare war on everybody. So now Turfan is captured by Mombasa and is burning. So, what a waste. Samoa was conquered by Hiawatha, and Brazil's got his two cities back here, so we're really just sticking it to Dido right now. Still waiting for World Congress, 2 more turns, and then after that, hopefully, we'll be able to elect me as world leader. I have every city-state under my thumb right now. It's really only a matter of time. I'm just waiting it out. At Germany's request, we have gone back to war with Carthage. That is Germany, myself, and Brazil currently at war with Carthage. And Brazil lost their second city, about to lose Fortaleza for a second time. This is a surprise. I was not actually intending to get the gold, but I barely edged out Bismarck, and we won the international games. So not only do we have extra 3 happiness and a one-time increase of influence with city-states, which is what I really wanted, I also get double tourism and a free social policy, which was not what I was going for, but I'll definitely take. Meanwhile, on the other continent, just as I foresaw, Fortaleza was conquered in 1 turn and is going to be burned to the ground almost immediately. Carthage does not like to have neighbors. Dido and I have agreed to temporarily stop fighting each other. She's at war with a lot of people right now, burned a couple of cities. Here's a German city spawning near her. She agreed to give me Karakorum in exchange for leaving her alone. I happily agreed and brought Mongolia back to life for a second time. So we'll see if he votes for me to be the world leader in the future. Science funding fails. That's too bad. Historical landmarks was passed. That works out well for me because I have a lot of landmarks. Another great merchant. I don't think I want to purchase a city-state. I'll just plant him down somewhere else. Now that historical landmarks is passed, he's worth another 2 culture in addition to everything else. So, sure, we'll put him right here on the tundra. Why not? World religion. I'm thinking of proposing Catholicism as the world religion. Now, Japan would not be happy about that. They have Shinto in one of their cities. One of their 2 cities. Germany would probably not be happy about that, but they've got Catholicism in all their cities except the capital. Buddhism did not get very far. Catholicism spread over to this small continent. Everyone here is Catholic. Iroquois, they would not be happy. They're all Protestant. Down here in Carthage, they're all Islamic. They're all Muslims. And as well as Mongolia, so they would not be that happy about that. Between Brazil and myself, we'd have 23 delegates at the moment, and everyone else would have about 19, so we could probably force it through. While I was improving my empire, trying to build up some gold and some capital, maintain influence over my city-states, over on the East Continent, Dito's starting to look pretty scared. She lost Beshbalak and Tonga, Honolulu. The Iroquois and Germany have decided to piecemeal her civilization, and I'm just happy with that because that means Mongolia, essentially my ally, is now surrounded on all sides by Germany and not Carthage. And since Germany and Mongolia are allies, yeah, that's good. Keep Mongolia in the game. Mongolia is not at war with anyone. I'd like to keep it that way. And this is all up to Carthage. We got Utique, Hippo Regius, and the capital. Carthage might be wiped out pretty soon, or just contained to this small little peninsula. Either way, that's great. Hiawatha is now in the lead, outranking me, and then there's Pedro. Genghis Khan just invited me to go to war with Carthage, and I agreed, because she's only got 3 cities left. I'll bring a couple of ships over, maybe intimidate her into giving me one of hers. Mongolia really can't put up a fight against Carthage. Despite her being completely devastated by everyone else, she's still pretty strong compared to Mongolia's 1 city. So Mongolia's not probably going to do much. Right now she's currently at war with Japan, Germany, and the Iroquois. We also just had a vote for world leader. I received 34 votes for myself and 4 from Greece, but apparently that was not enough. Not enough to win. The time for war against Dito has come. Let's get this started. Not that there's much to go to war with. Hiawatha took Utique, so now there's just Carthage and Hippo Regius. I might be able to take Hippo Regius. I've got a few ships heading her way. Probably not enough to take it though. This is a turn of events I was not expecting. Hiawatha has declared war on Bismarck. Maybe it's because Dortmund is in an area he wants to settle. He's got a lot of artillery headed towards Samoa, or headed from Samoa to Dortmund it looks like. I guess Hiawatha's gotten tired of going to war with Carthage since she's been dismantled, and is now redirecting his efforts. He is in first place, so I need to keep an eye on him, but he's not doing too much. Aesthetics. I would hesitate to think he's going for a cultural victory. I'm really not sure what he's going for. Maybe domination? No, he can't be going for domination. He doesn't even have anyone else's capital besides his in Honolulu. Maybe. I've never seen Hiawatha go for a domination victory, so I doubt it. Sadly, despite researching nuclear weaponry, I don't have any uranium in my territory, and as far as I know, none of the city-states have uranium in their territory either. Okay, so I just checked around, and it looks like the only people who have access to uranium are Germany, Brazil, and up here in the top of this continent, Hiawatha. So, Carthage has none, Japan has none, and I have none. So a little uneven, but I would be worried about Japan, but I'm not worried about Japan. Japan has been successfully contained. They're not going to hurt me, but I am not going to threaten anyone with nuclear weapons. Unfortunately, that also means I can't use nuclear weapons as a deterrent, so I would like to win this game fairly quickly if I can. I was curious to see how everyone was doing in terms of a cultural victory. Pretty much everyone has dominated Mongolia. I'm about halfway to everyone. I'm not really trying that hard, but I was worried about Brazil, especially since now that Catholicism is the world religion, he gets extra tourism in his capital. He is culturally dominant over Mongolia and Carthage, and he's very close to Japan. And he's pretty close to dominating Germany as well. Greece, myself, not so much. Iroquois, pretty bad. So he might become culturally dominant over the majority of civilizations, but I don't think he's going to win with a cultural victory at this rate. In a peace deal, I have taken Carthage's penultimate city. Hippo Regius is now mine. I had been bombarding it with destroyers and my battleship here, just waiting for the opportunity to take it, and it looks like she realized she was not going to hold on to it, so she just gave it to me in a peace deal. She's got a lot of troops. She could retake it, but I think Carthage is pretty much out of the game. She's just got one city left. Hiawatha's plotting against her. She's at war with Mongolia. Not that that matters, but she's lost all of her territory except for her capital. So after this, I don't know what the bigger threat's going to be. Hiawatha? Probably not. Pedro? I think his cultural victory is not attainable at this point. Japan's no threat to me. It's just a game of waiting at this point, I think. Is that why you picked Autocracy Japan? So you can complete the Perora uncontested? Seems like a bit of a waste. It is time to elect a world leader, and with every city-state under my control, an extra 5 votes from my diplomats in different capitals, 2 for being the current host, 2 from the world religion, 2 from world ideology, I think it's pretty safe to say I win. Greece, all of my votes. Let's go.
Forever will you be remembered as the leader who brought peace to a weary world.
Alright, that was a big success. Really nothing surprising about the stats. I was in first except for the Iroquois, who had a hell of a lot of land. The people with the pointiest sticks. I went from being one of the worst armies in the world to one of the best equipped armies. Genghis Khan with 61, very bottom. Dido, thoroughly destroyed. And then Pedro's surprisingly well equipped at this point. And that's the game.